All right, so here's the big news is that Anime Adventures is coming back, as I'm sure everyone and their mom has heard. And a lot of questions has come from this, being, how are the other anime tower defense games going to hold up, or how is it going to hold up against other anime tower defense games? So I just want to talk about it because I feel like I'm a pretty middle of the road uh, opinion, even though I'm going to glaze the hell out of anime adventures. So, but I'm not going to be unfair to Anime Vanguards. Anime Vanguards is a great game. It has really good quality. The devs actually care about their game. They don't care if it's just one weekly update with just trash portal events like ALS. No offense to ALS, but they actually care about their game, which is rare from Roblox games these days because everything just seems like a cash grab, like the millionth pet simulator game. So, I just want to talk about it because I feel like a lot of people are getting the points wrong on this. The first thing being that a lot of people are saying, well, Anime Vanguards is more free to play because you can get traits easier. And it's true, you can get traits easier, so it's easier to get Monarch in that game, and so it's more quote unquote free to play. But in my own experience, I think Anime Adventures was more free to play because you didn't need you didn't need any special traits to do the story. If you had Superior 3, which is like one of the most trashed traits, I think it's like 10% more damage, you can complete things, and you could grind for gems to get banner units that were actually useful. It feels like in Anime Vanguards, you need to do a million hours of, grinding to get these units, and if you don't have them, you can't do the next update. So if you miss one update of getting these secrets, then you're basically screwed, and you don't really want to play the update because, you're just behind, and you're like, well, I don't really want to play it anymore. And that kind of makes sense, But in Anime Adventures, it kind of just depended on the banner because banner units were still viable to use. Banner units were good. Like Usopp. Usopp was like top tier list for almost anything because he was just a good banner unit. And he was from like an older update too. Like not super old, but it was like before the Halloween update at least because I think he came out during Just Rosa. And it just like it shows how people are just their minds are destroyed by the facts of traits. You didn't need a unique to do anything. And in Anime Vanguards, not only do you need monarchs, but you also need secret units, and it's just like a whole grinding simulator that isn't fun, because if you don't have the absolute meta secret units, which are a total chance to get from actually playing the game, and you need to have good units to even do, so you need to go all the way back to get Icarus to get to like all these other units. Okay, and I know some people in the comments are just gonna be like, "Well, you're just cherry picking." Like, no, this is how the content loop is. I've seen people, like, if you go to like any Anime Vanguard stream, just like on TikTok or whatever, you're gonna see people in the comments asking for raid help, and it's just because it's harder to do. And these exclusive units, you're like, they're all right. They always have to buff them because they do the balancing wrong the first time, even though they have a million testers and it takes a million years to do one update. So it's just annoying. And in Anime Adventures, yeah, secret units were really good. Like if you had Sid, you're good. He was a meta hybrid with a nuke pretty much, and he did a lot of damage. And if you had unique on him, which I did, then you would absolutely destroy everyone. And Anime Vanguards, or in Anime Adventures, yeah, he's OP, he's gonna help you, but you don't need him, They're secret units, but you don't need them. You could get around with just using okay mythics, like Griffith or Guts. Guts is a great example. Guts has been in the game forever, and he was meta till the very end, like, until the game closed, and he still is meta, and he's probably gonna be meta when it comes back around. So it just makes you think. And like, some people are just gonna say like, well, what about Gojo or Sukuna? And I'm pretty sure for Sukuna, I can't remember if he had to do quest, but Gojo takes a million years to fucking evolve. He takes a million stars, and you might be saying, well, you could easily get stars with the new boss raids or events. And it's like, yeah, but you need those units, the secret units, to do the events, so it doesn't make any sense. And the balancing's just off. And I know it's like not fair to say that because you need hard events, and you want players to get the meta units so that updates feel worth it. Like ALS, you could probably, like, I haven't played ALS in like a month or two, but with my thing that I had from before, I could probably still beat it. Like, ALS isn't like a super challenging game. Like, you could have older units and still pretty much steamroll everything, especially the story. And and I already went with the unique thing, but it's just annoying because people are like, oh, free to play, but it's not really free to play because you could spend thousands of trait rerolls, not get anything, and then you're screwed. But in Anime Adventures, if you didn't get the trait, it's fine because you just need the unit. The unit itself was good, not the unit with the trait. Another thing is, a lot of people are saying, well, Anime Vanguards has better quality. Like, yeah, it took them way longer to even release it with less content. It's a more modern game because it came out after Anime Adventures was already gone and set the groundwork. Like, Anime Adventures has been gone for a year, and it's like comparable, and it already had a foundation, so it's not like it could do a complete rework of everything ever. Like, that's not how it works. They just have to add onto what they already have. And by the way, like, even the Goku update, the models look great. I don't think there was any bugs, actually. There might have been one bug with the raid, but I don't even remember it. And yeah, another thing is the data reset. Honestly, either way, I'll be happy. You know, Anime Adventures, maybe I won't have my unique Sid. Like, I had a unique secret. Like, I understand what some people might be thinking, but I'm doing really bad right now. They should do a data reset and just release everything from the get-go. I think they should release stuff periodically, starting from update 1. So maybe like weekly it gets updated to what it was before. So, you know, that being... so let's say it gets data resetted, then it should start from like the first story or the first like release stories that came out on release, and then every week or so the next story and units come out, just because it makes the progression a little bit easier. I think a data reset could work. A lot of people who want the data reset are just like elitist people who had all these secrets and don't want anyone else to have secrets, and they don't really care. But I think either way it could go fine. I started playing Anime Adventures a little late, so it's not like I have this huge nostalgia from Update 1. I started playing around when Halloween dropped, so only a couple months before, you know, it closed down. But in that time, you know, as soon as you get a mythic, pretty much any mythic can solo the story as long as it's not garbage. I started with Demiurge, which was from like the update before, and he was meta burn. I never even evolved him, and I beat the story. So it's not like you need these units to complete the story. You don't need super meta. So it's kind of like a hybrid, because ALS is like the complete opposite. You don't really need any units to beat the story. The story's too easy. So, but what I'm trying to get at is, if there isn't a data reset, most people are just saying that new players aren't going to be able to play because it'll be too hard to get in, which is just false, because I literally just said I started a couple, you know, months before the data reset, and I did fine. So this guy totally just freaking styled on me. I don't know why I was trying to hit fire, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be this huge deal if there's not a data reset, because you're still going to be able to catch up. And especially with the winter stuff coming out, it'll probably be hard to do, but that was the thing. You weren't supposed to solo everything in Anime Adventures. I remember, you know, when I first started doing the Halloween events, you had to have a group of people or else you'd absolutely get steamrolled. And yeah, if you have a bunch of uniques, you could probably do it easier, but I still don't remember with like unique Zid and all of that. I don't even remember being able to solo it. I also had Gilgamesh and Usopp God and all these other characters, but Like, yeah, if you have the cream of the crop, best you could probably solo it, but it was super hard to get those. Like, Alucard was, if you go to a anime Vanguard stream, almost every single like streamer has Alucard because whatever reasons. But Anime Adventures, seeing an Alucard was like pretty rare. I don't think I ever saw a unique Alucard. Maybe there is one on the wiki page, but I saw this level 12 with the two Alucards. One was shiny, but anyways. You don't need these super overpowered people to do the story or raids. You could kind of just do it on your own. But for events, it was made so that you need multiple people. Like the raids that came out, the Majin Buu raids, you definitely needed a team to do that because it was just hard. It was a new update and it was hard, and it doesn't feel like you get that in Anime Vanguards. Now, to Anime Vanguards. To their side, Anime Vanguards is a very good game. I just don't think it adds up to Anime Adventures because Anime Adventures has a really good head start. They came out. I don't know what just happened. They came out with updates more frequently. They're better at updating. Their updates came with content enough to grind out. Like as soon as the Dawn update came out for Anime Vanguards, people have already completed it. It's not even been a month. But on the other side, the Halloween event, people were still doing Halloween events like till the very end because Alucard was really hard to get, and and people want him. So it's just like this weird imbalance. I think that Anime Adventures, in the end, I think it was just a better game because it had better balancing. It was, in my opinion, more free to play, but that's kind of like it depends who you ask, really. I think it was more grindy, but it was fun. Another thing in Anime Adventures is they did not rely on macroing. Oh my god, the people that macro Anime Vanguards are the most unsufferable people ever. It's just because in Anime Adventures, there was like random spawns, all this other stuff that made it harder to macro. I remember there was like one Gilgamesh macro maybe for the infinite mode, but that was just to get the portals, and you can't really macro with the portals themselves, or it was harder to. So it's kind of like that. But in Anime Vanguards, they pretty much encourage you to macro. They have the same spawn point. They never talk anything about macroing or trying to get rid of it, and it's just lame because you're not even playing the game. You're just having your computer run at it all night. It's like, okay, I'm so bad at this game, but I hope that makes sense though. Like, you can't macro in Anime Adventures, which made the game actually worth playing. Because if you're just going to macro, all these infinite stages or boss raids or Igris runs, then it's leaving mobile players. They can't really, they can't catch up because you're literally 24/7 playing the game while not even being there. But in Anime Adventures, I think probably the only people that macroed were probably YouTubers or people on like top leaderboards who really wanted like everything. Like it wasn't everyone who's macroing, and that's not even Anime Vanguard's fault. That was actually probably more of Anime Defender's fault because Anime Defenders really, a lot of people are gonna say, well, there was macroing before. There was macroing before. It was not this big. It was not everybody. Almost everybody who plays these games macros unless they're a mobile player. And if they don't play it enough, or they're just lying. So I know most YouTubers macro, which is just lame because you're like, yeah, I'm doing a showcase on something I didn't even earn. It's just like, why would you even make a showcase on it? Like, well, like, I know what they mean, but like, it's just annoying, Like macroing is just lame in general, and you hate to see it. But all in all, I would say Anime Adventures has it. But let me know in the comments because, I might just be biased. I probably am biased because I used to play a lot of Anime Adventures, even though I started kind of late. And are you guys excited for it? So, yeah, I'm probably end it off there.